Mike Tyson has been vigorously preparing for his upcoming bout with Jake Paul, sparring with boxing legend and an old rival Evander Holyfield. The sessions aren't just about technique, they are a showcase of the enduring ferocity and intensity both Hall of Famers bring to the ring. These two, Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, are just not fighters with influence, but they hold a strong rivalry that goes back years.
I hit them. When I hit them one time, they said, "Oh God," and they stopped the fight.
In the 1980s, when both fighters were at the pinnacle of their careers but did not meet in the ring until the 1990s. Their first bout in November 1996, known as Finally, saw Holyfield defeat Tyson by an 11th round TKO to claim the WBA heavyweight title. This victory was a significant upset and set the stage for their notorious rematch. Before Evander Holyfield spoke about Mike Tyson, he reflected on their shared experiences and the expertise Tyson exhibited in the ring. Holyfield acknowledged the losses they both faced, which allowed him to see Tyson's exceptional skills up close.
So Mike and I, we both on the losing squad. So we on the losing squad and stuff like that. So this is the reason why I realized all the things that he could do, because he did it so well. He was an expert in rope, expert in hitting the bag. Everything that he did great.
Coming to the rematch in June 1997, the rematch, labeled The Sound and the Fury, escalated their rivalry into infamy when Tyson was disqualified for biting Holyfield's ears, an act that led to his suspension from boxing. This moment overshadowed their professional achievements at the time and remains a defining snapshot of their intense competition. Evander Holyfield further emphasized Mike Tyson's formidable prowess in the boxing ring, highlighting Tyson's reputation for knocking out opponents with ease.
We didn't spar into 84.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 84.
Got it. What was it like to spar Mike Tyson back then?
Well, the thing is that Mike used to knock everybody out. So, it was kind of like, he had his own sparring partner that he knocked out every day. He had people come in there and he'd knock them out.
Despite the violent end to their second fight, both fighters have since reconciled and expressed mutual respect in public appearances, transforming their once bitter rivalry into a more amicable veteran sports relationship. Evander Holyfield noted the aggressive style that defined Tyson's approach in the ring. Holyfield was impressed by Tyson's dominance, but he also recognized the strategic element of boxing, which involves manipulating an opponent's movements to create openings for counterattacks.
Kind of watch. And I said, wow, man, he's good. But in the game of boxing, it's about what you can do to a person to get them to move, to capitalize on which way they're going to move. But Mike was all one of the fighters who charge at you all the time.
Holyfield discussed his own strengths that set him apart from other fighters, particularly his quick reflexes and effective movement in the ring. He emphasized his confidence and fearlessness, which were critical to his success and allowed him to exploit his opponent's weaknesses effectively.
What I had that a lot of people didn't have, I had good rhythm and good movement. So I can pop back and make you run into my shots. I had fast hands and like this and what I had too, I had this thing where that I wasn't afraid of nobody.
With the announcement of a fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, the boxing world is buzzing with speculation and strategic alliances. Evander Holyfield has been seen pairing with Jake Paul now. This collaboration with Paul may be seen as Holyfield's strategy to engage indirectly with Tyson, possibly seeking a form of rivalry or revenge by training a competitor.
So you got to make it because you know what? I'm looking to jab. So if I be jabbing, you gonna try to hit me.
The spectacle of Tyson versus Paul has stirred mixed reactions from the boxing community, primarily due to the substantial age gap between the two fighters. Critics have dismissed the match as a mismatch, questioning the prudence of Tyson, now significantly older, stepping back into the ring. Everyone who has ever faced or trained with Mike Tyson is deeply aware of his formidable presence. Joe Agan, a former sparring partner, vividly described the intense aura that Tyson exuded, even as a young 17-year-old in the ring. Agan highlighted the overwhelming intensity and fearlessness that Tyson brought to each bout, a presence so commanding that it was felt by everyone who stepped into the ring with him.
He was smaller than me, and he spoke with a bit of a lisp. I'm not talking about to you. I really believed in my head. Then we went to the minibus to go to the gym, and suddenly all these big, powerful men appeared. And they were walking very, very somber. They were walking like men walking to the gallows. But they knew what was coming. Got to the gym, shadowboxed, bandaged up. Cuz said, right, glove up for sparring. I'm looking around. These big men were scared stiff. But I was so relaxed. Next when I look into the ring, and Mike's pacing the ring with his shirt off. His body, his physique was incredible. His biceps, his chest, his neck. Incredible. I hadn't seen him stripped to the waist. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, that's not the same 17-year-old boy I met yesterday. That's not the same 17-year-old boy around with this morning. That's not the same 17-year-old boy sat next to him in the minibus getting here. Then Cus pointed to one of the big men to get in his knock spark out.
While being best of the days, Canelo Alvarez expressed his disinterest in a specific upcoming fight scheduled for July, questioning its value to the sport of boxing. His lack of enthusiasm stems from a perception that the fight might not uphold the traditional standards and competitive spirit expected in boxing.
Jake Paul getting in there versus Mike Tyson. Does it interest you, and how do you see that fight going down in July?
Not at all. Not at all.
Not really, not even interested.
No.
Alvarez critiques the involvement of Netflix in the boxing world, particularly with regards to this fight. He acknowledges the general benefits of streaming platforms like Netflix in promoting boxing, but criticizes their choice for this specific event, suggesting it prioritizes spectacle over genuine competition.
I think Netflix is good for boxing, but at that special fight, I think Netflix is doing something wrong there. I think Netflix being involved, yes, is good, but no in that kind of fights. I think it's more show than a fight.
Jake Paul has made headlines by openly challenging Canelo Alvarez, seeking a bout that many see as a bid for further celebrity. Canelo, known for only entering the ring with opponents he deems worthy, has critiqued the skill levels of both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, confidently stating he could take on both simultaneously.
Right now, Mike Tyson or Jake Paul? In a hypothetical scenario, who do you think would be tougher for you?
I think if you put them together in the ring with me, maybe it's gonna...
Maybe both together?
Maybe it's gonna be a little complicated.
Meanwhile, Canelo has largely written off Jake Paul's challenges as mere publicity stunts rather than serious competition. He regards Paul not as a legitimate contender, but as an entertainer using the clout of established boxers to enhance his own profile, raising concerns about the potential impact on the legacies of respected athletes like Mike Tyson.
It's hard to say, but you know, it's risky for Mike Tyson.
Really? Why?
Sure. Yeah, because he's 57 and 58, I don't know, and boxing is it's not a joke.
The fight draws inevitable comparisons to the late Muhammad Ali's difficult later years, prompting concerns about Tyson's well-being. As Mike Tyson gears up for his upcoming bout with Jake Paul, comments from Gervonta Tank Davis could stir controversy among fans. With the fight just around the corner, any critique from prominent figures in boxing like Davis holds significant weight and can influence public perception.
First, I didn't like how Jake Paul was coming in up.
Why is that?
Because of how he was making it look like he'll call out somebody else that's like. But now that I see that I feel as though he's still a clown because that's his personality. He's still a clown.
That's how he gets paid. Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
But far as him like in the gym, I feel like I'm starting to respect it because he's not doing it like for the hype. He was really like trying to be a boxer.
In a reflective moment, Tank Davis acknowledged Jake Paul's evolution from a social media persona to a legitimate contender in the boxing world. Davis pointed out that while Paul is not yet among the elite in the sport, his dedication and selective approach to fights demonstrate potential for growth if he remains committed to his training and fight choices.
Right, I think that he's decent.
Yeah.
Like he's good. I mean, he's not good, but he's going that way. If he continue to do like stay in the gym,
Yeah.
like you say, like you get up in the morning, like he's a boxer. You know what I mean? He's in the gym. So
Despite the skepticism, Tyson's recent training footage has been a powerful counter-narrative, reassuring some doubters, including UFC President Dana White, who remains conflicted about Tyson fighting at his age. White, a longtime admirer of Tyson, has voiced mixed feelings about the match, reflecting a broader ambivalence within the sporting community about such high-risk showcases. This fight, bridging a 31-year age difference, continues to ignite debate about legacy, safety, and the evolving nature of boxing as entertainment.
I love Mike. I hate talking about it because he always gets mad at me when I talk about this stuff. When the fight happens, he'll be 58 years old. There'll be a 31-year age difference between these two. Jake Paul will fight a kid his age, and he lost. I just saw this thing on the internet yesterday. I reposted it. If he beats Mike Tyson, he's going to fight Clint Eastwood next. Clint Eastwood's 93 years old.
On the verge of Jake Paul, if you want to be taken seriously as a fighter, and you want to,
But he doesn't.
You know,
It's
so
he doesn't want to be taken
that's
serious.
I'm getting.
What
at.
Jake wants is Jake wants to make money. The people that follow Jake Paul don't buy Jake Paul's fights. So Jake Paul has to fight people who can actually sell pay-per-views.
At 59, Mike Tyson confronts two formidable adversaries in his upcoming bout, Jake Paul and his own advancing age. However, Tyson's extensive experience might just be his ace in the hole, provided Jake Paul doesn't wear him down first. Roy Jones Jr. commented on the match, suggesting that Tyson could very well emerge victorious if the fight is kept short, ideally within 3 or 4 rounds.
No, I don't feel for Mike and how old he is. Mike's a very rugged guy. You know, when I was in there with Mike, Mike still was hard to hit, and Mike still can hit hard as hell. So no reason to really fear for Mike. The only thing I fear for Mike is like if the fight goes beyond 4 or 5 rounds, then it could get problematic for Mike because of his age. But if he doesn't go beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
Roy Jones Jr. himself notes the challenge Jake Paul poses, not just because of his unconventional path to boxing from being a social media influencer, but due to his surprising strength and agility in the ring.
So I think he'll come out, assess the situation, see how he can deal with Jake's size and Jake's power, because Jake does have power. And after that, he'll make his mind up as to whether he wants to go and try to get him out.
Michael Jai White, an accomplished martial artist and actor known for his roles in action films and deep involvement in combat sports, shared his perspective on the much-discussed bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. White firmly backs Tyson, drawing from his own understanding of fighting dynamics and Tyson's historical prowess in the ring.
Who you got?
I got Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't see how Jake pulls this off. I see Mike Tyson punching him in the body, and I don't see how Jake stops that. Jake is not of the size to give Mike a problem. Mike can be, big guys would hold Mike, guys with long reach.
In the continuation of his analysis, White elaborates on the physical mismatch he perceives, emphasizing Tyson's advantage in terms of weight and center of gravity. His confidence in Tyson's ability to dominate with body shots reflects a deep respect for Tyson's technique and power, which he believes Jake Paul will be unable to counter effectively.
I think people that's Mike's weight, with Mike's center of gravity, I don't think there's anything that's going to stop him. Mike hits him in the body don't move that much. I don't see how Jake survives a body attack.
Michael Jai White further disclosed his role in arranging sparring partners for Jake Paul and his brother, providing him with unique insights into their training and performance. His connection to the training environment gives him a behind-the-scenes view, reinforcing his skepticism about Jake Paul's capabilities against Mike Tyson.
Because, I was instrumental in, sometimes getting guys to spar with Jake and his brother.
Right. I mean, he lost to Tommy Fury.
Yeah, but I know the guys that train with them,
okay,
and how they do against them. So I'm a little like,
It's kind of insider information there, but yeah, I don't see Jake doing much against Mike.
Terrence Crawford, along with other seasoned observers of the sport, watches the impending clash between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul with a blend of excitement and apprehension. Crawford expresses concern over Tyson's ability to endure the physical toll of such an intense encounter at his age, reflecting a common sentiment in the boxing community about the challenges of competing in later years.
Yeah, and do you have interest in seeing him fight Mike Tyson?
No.
Why not?
I don't. I think Mike Tyson is, an icon in boxing, and he's done a lot for boxing in his own right. And I just think Mike is past his prime. Mike is old. I wouldn't want to see Mike go in the ring and get hurt.
Eddie Hearn has cast the upcoming fight as a mere entertainment spectacle, dramatically highlighting the divisive reception it has received among boxing purists and casual watchers alike. This battle isn't just a clash of fists, it's a theatrical saga that stirs the pot of sports and showbiz, captivating audiences with its intricate blend of drama and athleticism.
Fan, and Mike Tyson is one of my favourite fighters of all time, but it's a big event, but I find it quite sad that someone that's achieved as much as Mike Tyson is fighting at, what's he, 58, 50, something like that, and could lose to Jake Paul, but money's money, and money does strange things.
Amid reflections on his personal journey with boxing, Hearn shared a poignant disappointment over seeing legendary figures of the sport, heroes from his youth, reduced to participants in what he views as contrived exhibitions. This to him is not just a match, but a melancholic chapter that could tarnish the legacy of true sporting excellence he grew up admiring.
Jake Paul, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, you're asking the wrong guy. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. He's one of my heroes. I find it very sad. But it's a big event. I understand people are going to watch it, and it's entertainment, I guess. But for someone that idolised the guy growing up, yeah, not the best day.
Do you think Jake Paul gets any credibility if he beats Mike Tyson?
He's 58 years old.
Moreover, Hearn expressed his exasperation with the fight's deviation from what he considers genuine boxing. He lamented the event's resemblance to a scripted performance rather than an authentic test of skill and spirit, challenging the very credibility of the match and questioning its merit beyond financial implications.
I don't think it's something that you'd ever see a real boxing person.
Hearn voiced his conflicted feelings about the event, weighing the potential financial gain against the possible erosion of the sport's revered traditions. He painted a picture of a community torn, where the allure of profit from a high-profile spectacle battles with the preservation of boxing's pure competitive essence.
When you weigh up the pros and cons, is this a good idea?
It depends, really. I think it's hard not being... They're not really boxing people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's one boxing person that really wants this fight to happen.
No.
So they're looking at it from a different angle. They're looking at it for numbers. They're looking at it for, hype. And I get it. I understand that this freak show may well do good numbers. But I think if you genuinely care about the sport and the history of the sport, and particularly the legacy of one of the greatest fighters of all time, it's not something you'd ever consider.
On November 15th, the boxing community will witness an unprecedented spectacle, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. This event is more than just a bout. It's a dramatic convergence of eras and styles within the squared circle. As the fight approaches, Jake Paul has openly expressed his apprehensions about facing a boxing heavyweight like Mike Tyson, recognizing the significant challenge posed by Tyson's formidable presence and power. This candidness reveals his internal struggle with the immense pressure of battling such a renowned opponent.
Definitely there's the moments of insecurity, especially moving up to heavyweight where he has the weight advantage and all of that. He's insanely powerful, and I know he's taking it seriously. There was an article being written and they wanted to interview him for it about me, and he said no. He's like, I'm in war mode. I'm not doing these stupid little interviews. So he's in kill mode. He wants to take my head off and, you know, go down as the legend who stopped this run of mine.
Moreover, as the date draws nearer, the enormity of facing the toughest man on the planet seems to be impacting Jake Paul's confidence. During a recent interview, he hinted at being somewhat delusional about his chances of victory, yet he also reflected on the strength of his own resolve, which has propelled him to his current stature in the sports world.
You know, raise the bar for myself, and I've tried to, you know, if your goals don't scare you, then they're not big enough. I've always followed that motto. And so at some points, yeah, I'm like delusional in what I was believing in or saying, but then all of a sudden it's not delusional and it's real. So I don't really know. And maybe that's the power of the human mind and the power of belief.
In a sharp retort, Mike Tyson has dismissed Paul's confident talk, suggesting that Paul may be overly influenced by his own publicity. Tyson's straightforward feedback cuts through the noise, highlighting the psychological games at play.
Jake believes his own lies sometimes. You know, I guess when you're in a big fight, you have to become delusional and believe you're somebody that you're actually not. But he's in a lot of trouble, I believe.
This clash is not merely a fight, it's a fusion of traditional grit and modern fame, challenging the norms of professional boxing. Jake Paul, undeterred by doubts, continues to strategize for what he believes could be a monumental upset, asserting that Tyson will be caught off guard by his capability in the ring.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be highly, highly competitive in the first 3 to 4 rounds. But I think my jab and body shots will start to slow him down. And I think he'll be surprised by my power and my speed. And eventually, I believe I got a specific shot for him that I think he's gonna fall into. And I think it's going to be lights out in rounds 4 or 5.
Meanwhile, Katie Taylor, an accomplished boxer known for her sharp skills and integrity in the sport, has shared her nuanced perspective on the controversial matchup between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. While she recognizes Jake Paul's successful pivot, she remains skeptical about his ability to earn the boxing community's full respect by facing a much older Tyson.
But then you have this young YouTuber guy, Jake Paul, who's an amazing businessman. He's improved so much as a fighter as well. He's a good athlete. He's young and fresh, and I just don't want him to hurt Mike Tyson. I don't want him to beat Mike Tyson, and I want Mike Tyson to come out obviously victorious just because of the respect I have.
Further elaborating on her views, Taylor recounted her initial doubts about Paul's entry into boxing. Over time, however, she has seen a notable improvement in his dedication and skills, which has slightly shifted her initial skepticism. Despite this, her support firmly leans toward Tyson.
It's funny, a few years ago when Jake Paul was initially on one of these cards, I was thinking, what's this guy doing fighting on a card? I was nearly so critical of him fighting on a big stage like this, getting this opportunity, but here he is. A few years later, he's one of the biggest names in the sport, and he's done so well for himself. It's amazing.
Taylor acknowledges the intricate dynamics of the fight, citing the unusual pairing as a significant hurdle for Paul, given Tyson's venerable age and iconic status. Her reflections highlight the complex ethical and competitive questions this bout raises.
It's a very tough pill to swallow. It's nearly like a lose-lose situation for Jake Paul, I think, isn't it? I mean, he's not going to get much credit for it because he's now Mike Tyson's 58 years old. But just how iconic Mike Tyson is, and you're right that Jake Paul has done so well for himself, and he's actually improving as a fighter as well. You can see those improvements. You can see that he's working hard in the gym. And
as we gear up for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, boxing legends like Evander Holyfield remind us of the rich heritage that underpins this sport. What impact do you think such matchups have on boxing's legacy? Share your thoughts and join the conversation as we witness history in the making.